What I really wanted to speak to you about is the what I call the 5 A's. And the first one is acceptance. And these A's are designed to assist us to live more presently in the now. To be awake, basically. So acceptance. Acceptance of what is, acceptance of who we are, acceptance of the other, just radical acceptance sometimes, where your mind is telling you no, but your soul is saying, we need to accept this. Like death, the death of a loved one, health challenges, losing your job. What happens if you don't accept it? You suffer. Just like they said, the Buddha, right? All suffering comes from ignorance. So when we don't accept, it's because we're not trusting. We're not trusting the moment. We're not trusting that whatever's showing up is our creation on some deep level. And it's up to us to receive it, to respond to it. Not just to react to it and push it away, but to really be with it. So acceptance is the first step. And then that leads to appreciation. When you really can appreciate the moment now. Now that you've accepted it, okay, it's going to happen. Let's say death. Because I've met many people on their way out. I've worked with them. And when someone moves from acceptance to appreciation, knowing that their time on earth is limited, days, weeks, maybe months, that appreciation of every moment happens organically. But you don't have to receive a life-threatening illness in order to wake up, although some do. You could just realize that these bodies are temporary. They will one day perish. And so what are we going to do with the moments we do have? Appreciate them. Appreciate ourselves. Appreciate each other. And when we appreciate each other, we raise the value of each other. The value of our own self and the value of our relationships is appreciated in value. So, acceptance, appreciation. Appreciating every moment. And the third one, acceptance, activation. So, through this appreciation, there's an activation of who we are, of the moment as it shows up. You understand? By appreciating it, it activates it. It allows for you to receive the nuggets, the pearls of wisdom that situation, that moment is presenting, good or bad, which is all within duality. Right? So when we really appreciate and accept it, it's activated. And when we appreciate and accept ourselves, we are activated. And that's what we do here. We activate ourselves. So, acceptance, appreciation, activation, and then awareness. And then we see who we are as awareness, simply watching all of these moments come and go. And this awareness has no judgment, like the Rinpoche was pointing to. There's no need for the mind. It's choiceless awareness, where the acceptance happens by itself. There's nobody who even needs to accept it anymore. There's nobody left. There's just pure awareness. And in that pure awareness, magic starts to happen. Because your mind's not in a way trying to control it. You just have a clear intention, which hopefully is awakening, and then it happens. And that's the next A, awakening. From awareness to awakening. Awakening to who we are. That we actually never began, and we will never end. So the truth is, there is no death. So by accepting, appreciating, and being aware of the potential of this, of the inevitability of this body dying, we awaken and realize who we are that's eternal, that will never die. And then that leads to the final A, ascension. This ascension used to be just for the avatars. Oh, another A. But those times are finished. The need for religion is almost finished. Some still have it, and it points you to this ascension. But if you think Jesus is going to do it instead of you, or for you, then you miss the ascension. The ascension that is already happening. The ascension which is our true nature. As awareness, pure acceptance, and activated in our life, in our world. And that is how we are awakening the planet, through our own awakening. Many of us who are alive today awakened in our previous life. And we've returned for what is called, also in the Buddhist tradition, the Bodhisattva vow. And the Bodhisattva vow is basically, until all sentient beings are awake, I am not fully awake. So, part of awakening and ascension is accepting and appreciating everyone on their journey, their spiritual journey. And no need to judge them, no need to try to change them. All we can do is be an example of an awakened, ascended master who is holding space for everyone we meet to fall into that Buddha field, to be touched by that pure awareness and love. You all have it in you. I've seen many of you share it. Many of you right up here on this stage. So the invitation today is to accept who you are, appreciate who you are, become aware of who you truly are, awaken to that awareness, and then ascend. And so together, we'll create a fifth dimensional reality on this planet. Heaven on earth, nirvana. Because nirvana is not in the future. Nirvana is always here and now. So I welcome you all to the here and now, to this amazing celebration of another A, Aiden! I'm so happy Aiden's here today. And we invite those who have children to bring your children. We're going to arrange for daycare soon, because we've had some requests for that. But thank you all for being here for this amazing celebration. You all receive A's. And there's one A I didn't mention that comes as a kind of bonus to all the rest. And actually while I was speaking, I was trying to remember, what is it? What is that? No, I'm missing one. And it wasn't Aiden. It's abundance. But you know what? You don't really focus on abundance. You can, but that's just the ego. The ego who's not trusting that everything is showing up for us perfectly in this moment. That we always are provided for. Jah will provide. And all of those other A's, it takes trust. It takes trust to accept. It takes trust to appreciate. It takes trust to awaken. So, abundance, it takes the biggest trust. And it comes as a blossoming of all the rest of the A's. Abundance comes from your awakening, at least that's my experience. When I'm awake, everything's available to me. Yesterday, I was down at the beach. I don't know if anyone read my Facebook status. And a seal passed by me right here. I saw it in the distance, I ran into the water, and it swam right past me. And then I asked a couple of surfers, did you see dolphins? I thought I saw dolphins too. And they said, yeah. They were kind of nonchalant, they see them all the time, I guess. But me, I kept swimming and looking, and the two of them came. and they were as close as you, and they just vibed with me, and I vibed with them. And it was just like, yes, this is my life. I'm creating this, thank you very much. And I'm not taking it for granted. And I'm not attached if I go back today and they're not there. Attachment, that's not one of the A's. But ultimately, in that moment, by the way, here's how we create our reality. So there was right after the dolphins, I wasn't being greedy, I was just being aware. And I noticed there were hundreds of pelicans 2 blocks south in the water feeding. And often I would go swimming up in Topanga with the pelicans, and they'd dive all around me, and I would vibe with them, look them in the eye, and that's why I'm a vegetarian. How can you eat a chicken when you vibe with a pelican? And so then, I thought, okay, I'm going to go swim or walk down and play with the pelicans. And suddenly, one by one, they all flew up from where they were and flew past me and went north. And hundreds of them flying over me and around me. And I was like, this is life. This is life when we don't plan it. So like I said earlier, your imagination is great to get you to the moment, but let it go then, because it creates expectation, and you compare it. So let's not compare anymore. Let's really appreciate this present moment, who we are, who you are, and this blessed place that existence has given us to take care of. So thank you for being here to take care of it with us. And Annelise is going to share a little bit more about abundance and other awareness that she's come to. And thank you very much. We love you so much.